Meek Mill used to be the Philadelphia street rapper who beat the odds. He had served multiple prison bids and still managed to release hit records that dominated the charts. But then that embarrassing L from Drake came, followed by his label drama with Maybach Music Group. And by 2024, what was once a meteoric rise had turned into a struggle to stay relevant. But just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse for Meek, the Diddy scandal erupted.
Singer Cassie has accused hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of and a decade of physical abuse. The two were romantically involved for years, but in a lawsuit made public today, Cassie says there was a pattern of control, drug use, and encounters.
Multiple lawsuits crashed down on the diddler, alleging everything from trafficking to domestic violence and sexual assault. And in the midst of this legal firestorm, Rodney Jones, Diddy's former producer, who spent over a year in the music mogul's inner circle, would drop perhaps the most explosive lawsuit of all. A 73-page bombshell that turned the world of hip-hop upside down, with a damning footnote suggesting that P. Diddy actually had a relationship with the Philadelphia rapper. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought Diddy was finished? The breadcrumbs were laid out, and internet detectives wasted no time connecting them directly to Meek's doorstep. As these allegations against Diddy's multiplied like a bump on the corner of his lip, the public began scrutinizing the true nature of Meek and Diddy's relationship with fresh eyes. And as social media sleuths dug deeper, it became clear that the clues had been hiding in plain sight all along.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
So today, we're taking a closer look into the bizarre and sus relationship between Meek Mill and Diddy to determine if they were truly just industry friends and mentor-mentee as they claimed, or perhaps if something more intimate was happening behind closed doors, and sometimes, seemingly, even in front of the camera.
The singer Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, today filing suit against ex-boyfriend Sean Combs.
P. Diddy accused of assault by producer Lil Rod. Put up the picture for him ass.
Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with rapper 5 that's redacted. He's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin shit. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up, this is saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the me? Like, I can't even imagine such debauchery and such happening to a gangster rapper like me.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no.
Okay, because I do.
You see, Sean Diddy the Diddler Combs has long positioned himself as hip-hop's ultimate gatekeeper, the kingpin who could make or break careers with a single cosign. So for young artists, getting Diddy's attention was a golden ticket to exclusive circles, tight circles, industry connections, and the kind of mentorship that no streaming revenue could buy. And for a street rapper like Meek Mill, fresh out of prison on weapons and drug charges, Diddy may have represented a bridge between the block and the boardroom. He was looking for someone to come on board and have his back, but not in the prison sense. The timing of their connection couldn't have been more perfect for Meek. For one, he was still relatively unknown outside of Philadelphia's underground scene, having spent years grinding through mixtapes and dealing with legal troubles that could have ended his career before it truly began. His 2008 arrest on drug and gun charges had resulted in a probation sentence that would haunt him for nearly a decade, making industry connections even more crucial for legitimizing his transition from the streets to mainstream success. The two most likely crossed paths after Meek inked his deal with Rick Ross's Maybach Music Group in 2011. Since Diddy and Rose had been running in the same circles, this connection put Meek within the splash distance of hip-hop's billion-dollar boss. What made this relationship particularly significant was the cultural cachet that it represented. Diddy wasn't just a successful businessman, he was a symbol of black excellence in an industry that had historically exploited its artists. So for Meek, who had watched young men in the hood like himself fall victim to the streets, he narrowly escaped that fate himself. Aligning with Diddy represented the ultimate validation that he had truly made it out of the trenches. And as Meek's stock rose with Maybach Music Group, group, Diddy's interest in the rising star began to grow, an interest that got thicker and hardened as time went on. Likewise, Meek, still with the streets in his blood, but the boardroom in his sights, likely began looking at Diddy with puppy eyes like the OG who could teach him how to turn street fame into generational wealth. And they would soon start popping up together at industry events like the Live Beach Party in 2013 and the Time Warner Cable Studio After Party in February 2014. These early public appearances established a pattern that would define their relationship for years to come. Unlike typical industry networking, where artists might take a quick photo and move on, Meek and Diddy seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. Then in 2015, Meek would level up big time, landing one of the biggest female rap and pop stars ever, Nicki Minaj, as both his collaborator and his girlfriend. The same year that power couple started dating, that's Meek and Nicki, he would also release his sophomore album, Dreams Worth More Than Money, which would land him his first #1 album, as well as winning top rap album at the 2016 Billboard Music Awards. During this period, Meek continued to build his relationship with Diddy professionally, maintaining his industry connections while his career was on the rise, getting harder by the day. And while Meek and Nicki were building an image of one of music's favorite power couples, Diddy kept himself in their orbit like a proud husband sitting in the hotel cuck chair, and co-signing their movements like a proud uncle at graduation. Meek and Diddy also had hit the studio together for the track Cold Hearted off Meek's new chart-topping album, putting their mentor-mentee relationship on wax for the whole world to hear, with Meek shouting out Diddy together with the other big dogs of the rap game, Jay-Z and Baby aka Birdman. But then, in January 2017, Meek and Nicki would officially call it quits, causing one of the first major L's for the Philly rapper in the public eye. However, on the rebound, Meek's connection with Diddy only got stronger and harder, like he traded one powerful relationship for another. Diddy was helping Meek get over his heartbreak, and the two were popping up everywhere together, popping bottles in VIP, hanging out in pools, and popping out at events. To the public eye, they were just two hustlers who had beaten the odds, one from the crack era and one from the trap era, both supporting each other.
I'm with Diddy on another level. Ooh, it's your birthday.
But what the public didn't fully understand at the time was how unusual this level of closeness was in the hip-hop and street cultures. While mentorship relationships are common, the industry typically maintains certain boundaries between established moguls and rising artists, and the fact that Diddy and Meek were spending so much personal time together and appearing at each other's private events so often suggested a bond that transcended typical business relationships. On paper, it was the perfect alliance. However, in April 2019, we would see the first piece of evidence that their bond might have been something that the streets was not ready to hear about. At Coachella that year, Meek and Diddy rolled up looking like they shared a stylist, with matching fits and all, a move that seemed harmless at the time but would later be labelled Exhibit A in the zesty courts of public opinion. The picture of their matching outfits quickly made its way online and started circulating across social media. At the time, it sparked some jokes, a few side-eyes, but nothing career-threatening. Just two rich dudes with the same stylist who couldn't keep their hands off each other, right? But the thing is, this wasn't just a one-off situation, and a month later, in May 2019, footage emerged from what seemed like a casual hangout at one of Diddy's properties. The video showed Meek taking a little dip in Diddy's pool, and the clip itself seemed innocent enough until Diddy spoke.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Diddy's word choice for Meek struck many viewers as unusual for a standard mentor-mentee relationship, or for a standard male friendship for that matter. But just like the matching fits in the photo, this footage made the rounds in the blogs, raising some eyebrows and causing relentless clowning. But it eventually disappeared into that internet graveyard where most celebrity content goes to die. But what no one knew at the time was that these seemingly innocent interactions would later come out in a much darker light. By the time the 2020s rolled around, Diddy was sitting on his throne, dripping dough and baby oil, playing the kingmaker in the rap industry. The